Okay, this is a book called Splat, the Cat, and the Duck with No Quack. I thought that sounded like such a fun title. Nano's reading it. Very much fun. I'm looking forward to this. Okay, so see if you can read along with me. Splat, the Cat, and the Duck with No Quack. Ah, yikes! Splat's bike went clickety-clack. He rode along a bumpy track to cat school. Suddenly the wheels of the bike got stuck in a crack. With a whack and a smack, Splat tumbled to the track. Splat found himself, nose to beak, with a funny little duck. The funny duck, had a little book, and the duck gave Splat a very funny look. "How odd," said Splat. "This duck is strangely quiet." "The duck lacking a quacking," said Splat. "That is not right." A duck that cannot quack. "Don't worry, Duck," said Splat. "You must be lost. I'll take you back to the pond. I will help you get your quack back." Splat picked up the duck and with a little book, and he put both in his backpack. "Take care in there," said Splat. "Don't sit on my fish stick snack." Splat put his backpack back on, got on his bike, and set off again along the bumpy track towards the pond. Splat's bike went clickety-clickety, clackety-clackety, clickety-clickety-clack. Splat stopped by the pond and opened his backpack. Duck popped out and looked about and then popped back in again. "Maybe Duck isn't lost," Splat said. "Mrs. Wimply-Dimp will know what to do." And Splat wobbled his way back to the cat in the cat school. When Splat got to school, he parked his bike in the bike rack's shack and dropped his backpack on the bumpy track. Duck looked out from a crack in the Splat's backpack, and Duck saw Spike's little grin and a funny panic. Duck jumped out at Splat's backyard. "Duck! Duck!" yelled Splat. "Where? Where?" yelled Frank, looking at the plank. Too late. Splurf! The duck with the little book on his plank head. "No quack," said Splat. "No quack," said Spike. "No quack," said Frank. "No quack," said Splat. The duck lacking a quacking, and Spike and Plank said that's not right. "Maybe Duck is hungry," said Spike. Spike took the fish stick snack from Splat's backpack and gave it to Duck, but Duck didn't bite. So Spike ate the fish stick and snack himself. "Maybe Duck is sad and needs to cheer up," said Plank. Plank made a funny face. Duck didn't laugh. Duck didn't grin. Duck's funny face stayed just stuck. I know," said Kitten. "Duck needs a bow with a little pink dress to match. That will be Duck's quack back." But the bow and the dress were not a success, and Duck's beak stayed firmly closed. "Mrs. Wimply-Dimple will know what to do," said Splat. Mrs. Wimply-Dimple looked at the duck. "A duck lacking a quacking? How very odd! But answer must be simple," said Mrs. Wimpy-Dimple. "I will examine this duck with the little book," said Mrs. Wimpy-Dimple, and she played some music to test the duck's ears. The duck danced a merry duck dance. "The duck's hearing is all right. Maybe the problem is his eyesight," said Mrs. Wimply-Dimple. Mrs. Wimply-Dimple pointed to the eye chart. Duck just looked blank. She looked closely at the duck. I see, but I don't think Duck does." Mrs. Wimply Dimple put her glasses on the duck's beak. Duck blinked, and Duck opened the book, and he started to read aloud. He read, "The duck began to quack. Quack, 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 quack," followed by quack, 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 quack. "Hooray for Duck!" cheered all the helpful cats. Duck's quack was back, and that was that.